welcome to another video. So thought I'd get this uploaded quickly because I've been away for a few days, so didn't want to leave with no content on my channel. Thank you very much if you are new to my channel, you're a new subscriber today. I've now got 43 people. Woohoo! That all want to watch me. What are you guys doing with your lives that you've got nothing better to do? Anyway, so this is a redesign. This lovely client came in today, didn't know what she wanted, but she wanted something bright, and we decided to go with this beautiful yellow. So I've done all of my take back work and my prep work. You can see there is colour left on her nails. This is probably the 4th redesign she's had now. I think we did the original set in August. So yeah, she's got some bits of colour on there. This is the last time that we are redesigning on these. We are going to be doing a brand new set the next time she comes back. So I've gone in and I have dehydrated and I have laid my clear base. And I'm now coming in with CJP's Pineapple Fizz. So we're going to do 4 full nails of this. And we are then going to be doing a full finger of Tracy Lou's, let me get the name right, if I can remember it, Champagne Gold. And I'm going to do a 3D sunflower. So this young lady has recently had her 2nd baby, and they call her Sunshine. So she wanted something to remind her of sunshine. So that's why we went with the yellow. So just getting that on there, trying to get it as neat as I can, trying to make sure that I don't work too wet with this colour. It can be quite see-through if you don't work dry enough, and obviously we've got colour on there, so we want to make sure that's covered. But once I've got the coverage where I want it, I am then capping these nails as I go. Again, you do not have to cap these colours with CJP. A lot of them are core powders, they are built for strength. I always cap because I'm still at that point where I sometimes file away a little too much and then you end up with patches. So I just find that this helps protect the colour that I've put on there, so I'm less likely to do that. So nice wet bead. So I'm skipping that ring finger for the time being. We're going straight on to that next one. So for me, I've started working and putting my cuticle bead first when I'm working with colour. That's just the way that I do it. It's not right, it's not wrong. You know, we all work differently, and in the last 2 years, this is how it works for me. So that's what I do. So that first bead goes on, get that cuticle nice and neat. 2nd bead goes on, and then if I need more, I need more. I'll come back and I'll add a few in. Not a problem. So downside for me today, I've had 4 sets in today, whereas I usually do 3 at the most, so a bit behind with me editing, but that's normal. I am nicely relaxed for my holiday, but it also means I've got to get back in the habit of working again. None of us like that. So the only bit I have not sped up on this is the first finger that I do with the 3D, just because I wanted to show it in real time. I am, as always, upstairs editing while having the coffee. So yeah, plain yellow nails. Beautiful colour this one though from CJP. Absolutely love this. And actually, after doing as many autumny bronze sets as I've done recently, doing a yellow was really nice. So it was lovely to do something a little bit different. Still using my size 10 Tracy Lou brush, because I love it. I actually have 2. I don't use the same brush all the time. I switch between the 2, but I have 2 exactly the same size, and it's the only time I've ever bought 2 brushes from one place and bought 2 exactly the same. That's how much I love it. So as you can see, I'm just capping as I go. I'm capping quite wet. It is literally just to protect that colour. Left the thumb in on this bit. I don't always. I'm not even sure why I left all the fingers in on this one, to be honest, because they are all one flat colour. I've done 2 other sets today, neither of which I've filmed. The first set was a redesign. Second set was a beautiful red set. You all know red's hard to work with. Absolutely beautiful. But because it was one flat colour, I figured you probably wouldn't want to see that. So I didn't record it. So just tidying up that cuticle there. I'm mad about my cuticles, aren't I? I proper faff with them. Everybody struggled this morning and yesterday morning. Half term is over. Kids have gone back to school. So just getting that colour built up. As you can see, you know, sometimes it can take me 10 or 11 little beads. You know, what's it matter? I'll get one big bead one day. Let's hope we get it on camera. That would be really useful. Excuse me. So onto that glitter, I'm just putting a very thin wash of that colour at the cuticle to get that neat. And I'm then coming in with that stunning glitter. I've used this one so much from Tracy Lou again. So literally tiny bead of clear acrylic, dipping it into the raw glitter, getting it on the nail, and then I'm just pushing it around to where I want it to go. So not huge, you don't want any bulk on this, you literally just want to get that nail covered. But this absolutely covers beautifully. So that's me twisting my brush around to get it off my brush. So yeah, just keep pressing it, patting it, playing with it until it gets to those bits that I want it to go. And we're going to be doing the sunflower on top of this. So you know, it didn't have to be perfect, but I do like to make sure I've got my full coverage on there. And especially when you're working over previous redesigns, this is where thinking ahead comes into plan. Now, what I did differently on this set to what I would normally do is I actually filed this finger and the ring finger on the other hand together. So I did both lots of 3D together. So you'll notice that when we get on there. So coming in with one nice big bead of clear acrylic, nice and wet. I wet that glitter before I put that bead on and almost did this in one. Not quite, but almost. So you can pick up some very good size beads actually with this brush. You don't need to have a massive brush necessarily. Almost did it. Had a little bit on that end where I just needed a little bit more, I think. I literally just keep touching that acrylic and getting it as neat as I can now, because that's going to minimise the filing at the end. Oh, there you go, with a little one at the top there. Because I don't like hand filing, no secret there. So get that filing done on that finger and get that completely filed and cleaned off before I do my 3D. And I do the same on the other finger as well, so that I can do them both together. So we're going to do, first of all, once we get this sorted, I don't top coat before I put my 3D on. Just get it done, get it shaped. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Get my buffing block and then wipe it off with either isopropyl alcohol, prep spray, whatever it is that you use. Acetone will do it. You're just cleaning that dust off. And I'm running my thumb over it just to feel. You can very often feel lumps and bumps or dips with your thumb. So that's why I'm using my thumb. It's not just to get the dust off. It's really just so I can feel. Make sure it's soft. And what we are doing, we are using caviar beads. So there you go, quick spray. Dust off with my trusty toothbrush. Me Teresa grin. That's why she's called Teresa. Old joke, but you know, makes them smile. So that's me just faffing really, getting my stuff together. So I'm using caviar beads, tiny piece of acrylic, just dip it into the caviar beads, pick them up. I'm going to put that on first. That's the middle of our sunflower. If you get your middle on first, it makes it easier then to put your flower petals around it. So just get that where I want to do it. And what I don't show you until a bit later on is that when I finish doing my flower, I then go back and I put a little cap of clear acrylic over the top of those caviar beads, just to make sure they're not lumpy or bumpy and that they will not catch on anything. And when I file, I just give it a quick file over the top, and then I top coat the caviar beads. I don't top coat my 3D because you lose your definition. That's my personal thing. I always think it looks nicer if you leave it matte. Of course, if you do want to top coat, I'd advise using a tiny little detailer brush and just top coating with that so you can get in all those nooks and crevices. So my first bead I pick up quite dry. I'm using my 3D Petite, I think it is. So pick that bead up nice and dry and then just get it where I need it to go, and I'm waiting for it to go slightly matte before I press it out. So getting it along that angle there, and then when I'm ready, when it stops bouncing back, there you go, there's me testing, stops bouncing back too much, and literally just straight down the middle. It's that simple. So just straight down with the point of your brush and then just tuck it in each side till you get the shape you want. So just flattening it out in the middle, tuck tuck, and it just gives you that pointed leaf. Very simple 3D, it's not difficult. Second petal on the other side. Get those two in because they're the two that you've got to get nice and even with the side of the nail. That's the way I do it anyway. And I know then how much room I've got. Once I've done them two, I know how much room I've got in the middle to put that third one. And I am one of those people, it has to be in odd numbers. So it's got to be 3 petals, 5 petals. I don't do even numbers. I know that sounds really stupid. Don't know why, it's just me. Has to be an odd number of petals. So yeah, just you're barely touching it, look. You're literally using the shape of the brush to make that. Now I will say coloured acrylic I find harder to work with than white acrylic. White, for me, is the easiest one to use for 3D. And I don't advise using glitter acrylics to do 3D with either. They don't look very well. You don't get the definition with them. So, you know, just be aware of that. But that's my personal choice, as is top coating them. You know, I prefer not to. I'll only do it if a client specifically says when I'm doing the flowers, can you please top coat it? I prefer it matte. So yeah, just pull that straight down the middle and then just tuck it in. Nice and easy. You can go one further and put another layer of petals, or do the first 3 flatter and then do 2 more defined ones, or do use 2 different colours. You know, it's whichever way you want to do it. We decided to do it this way, or I decided, should I say. So I then switched to the ring finger on the other hand, do exactly the same process, because those 2 fingers, that acrylic is then set in, and I can then go back and file, because I normally only film one hand. But on this instance, I just wanted to show you how you switch between the 2. Because you save some time then, because you've already got the stuff out. So once you get that second one done, you can then put your caviar beads and your coloured acrylic away because you're done with it, and you won't knock it over, which is what I usually do. In hindsight, that nail looks a tad flat, I have to say. I probably should have put a little bit, maybe not. I mean, it looks okay, as long as the strength is there. You know, that's the main thing. There's also the fact you're putting 3D on the top, so you don't want it to be too bulky, because the 3D will then add to it. But, you know, looking at it from this angle, this close up now, I could have done with a little bit more near that tip, I think. That would have been a little bit better. But, you know, that's what I'm here to do. Point these things out to you guys, and then you guys can learn from it. But anyway, so give that a wipe over, and then I think I used a cotton pad this time. Now I have sped this part up, it was just that last finger that I left in real time. So obviously I'm not working this quickly, if at all. Too fast a bit. So there we go in with those caviar beads. And all I'm twisting it round for is because I want that acrylic on the bottom. I want the caviar beads on top. And I just use these lovely brown ones because they remind me of the centre of a sunflower. So I think I picked it. I've got loads of different colour. So I've left that open to show you. Left that in a big screen to show you me putting everything away when I finished. Because I knock stuff over. So there you go. There's me putting a tiny bit of clear acrylic on that other finger before I start on the other hand, because I'd forgotten. Literally. So I literally just grabbed a hand back and just popped it on there. There we go. So first petal goes on, pick it up, get it where I want it to be, wait for it to stop bouncing back a bit. There we go, and just right down the middle and pull it out and then shape it. If you were doing daisies, I wouldn't pull it quite as far down. You know, it depends on what flower you want to get. For me, very simple, easy sunflower. On this finger, you will notice I put this one on and I get it a little bit too far this way. Yeah, it happens. So this hand is sped up, this finger. So there you go. There's no, you know, there's no angliness such going on here. I'm literally using the shape of that brush just to push it down from the middle and out to the side, just to give me that petal shape. So as you can see, could have done with that being a little bit further down, but you know, that's what makes them unique. They're all different. So then what I do when I top coat is I top coat the beads, the caviar beads, not the petals, but I then top coat the glitter nail underneath. And I just love the effect. There we go. So a little bead on top of those caviar beads, a little bead of clear acrylic. So all my acrylic as usual is CJP. My brush is a Tracy Lou brush. The glitter champagne gold is Tracy Lou. Files are Tracy Lou's because I love them, because they're really sturdy. And then because I've been as neat as I have with my filing, it's quick. It's really quick. You're not shaping that nail by filing it. You've already done that with your brush. You're literally just refining it. So again, sped up. Don't work that fast. This set was a redesign, so including taking all of the design off and the 3D, it was 2 hours to do this set. So not too long at all. That's normal for me, 2 to 2.5 hours. I've done 4 sets today, so that's a full day. All redesigns. So literally just refining that edge and just buffing over that. Literally, I'm not buffing over the 3D there. I'm literally just buffing that clear acrylic so that when we put the top coat on, you'll see them caviar beads. I am switching between 2 files again today, mainly because I had a brand new file. And on some people, I'm a bit more panicky about using a brand new file. So we're coming to the end now. I have left in the top coating and I have left a little video and a photo at the end of the video. That is it for this set. I think this has got to be my favourite set today. It is definitely my favourite set. I do have a short video of acrylic application only to do as well, but I should do that later. Thank you so much for subscribing and for liking. Please leave your comments below. Really appreciate it. I can't believe there are enough people out there that actually want to watch me do this, but while you're liking them, I'll keep them coming. So quick wipe over with acetone and top coat, and we are done. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll catch up with you very soon. Bye bye.